I'm going to be building a pantry and a closet, well, framing those. And I'm hoping to get it done within a couple of hours. This is Sunday. It's extremely hot outside. It's like 85 degrees. It is 10:11 in the morning and I'm just getting started, but I did have to stop and get 2x4s for the framing. Get my boots on now. Tennis shoes don't offer a whole lot of protection when working with lumber. I don't want to drop anything on my foot. So let's get started. And this is where I'm going to get started today. So I'm in a back bedroom and right now there's no closet. We tore out the closet that was here, which was down on the ground here. It just didn't really make sense how it was sitting in there. It was too shallow. Wasn't even hardly enough room to put hangers to hang clothes in this closet that was here. Again, up here we're at 10-foot ceilings, but there's an air return up here that we're going to work around. So we're only going to make this closet 8 feet tall, and then it's going to be about 6.5 feet wide. And there's going to be a little bit of a space over here on the left side, and then there'll be a little space over here on the right side between the window. So anytime you're building anything new in a house, whether it's a closet like this, a wall, a pantry, whatever it might be, you need to really think through the entire project and think through sequentially what's the next step in the process. So starting out with the rough framing, I got my rough dimensions and I'll be working on cutting all the lumber, putting that in place. But I also have to think ahead a little bit. So we're gonna have drywall, so I have to make sure I have the spaces to attach all the drywall all the way around, and then of course trim. So trim needs to be not only needs to be enough space for the trim around the closet and the proper size opening for closet doors, but we also need to make sure that whenever we come around the edge here and butt up near this window, that we leave enough room on this window to have trim that goes around the window. I went ahead and built the two side walls. These side walls are about 24.5 inches wide, and I'm keeping it at 8 feet tall, so that, thinking again one step ahead, that 8 feet is going to be the length of the drywall that'll go here, and at 24.5 inches deep, plus this front frame, which I'm getting ready to build now, that's going to stick out here away from this wall. We're going to have the top piece that's going to go all the way up and across the top, over here to here. And then I don't have the walls all plumb and level yet. I'm gonna wait until I get everything built, but our dimensions from corner to quarter ended up being 70 and a half inches. So the next step is to build this front wall, and we'll go ahead and get started with that right now. I'm gonna go ahead and point out my makeshift workbench. So there's bunch of old doors here, and I have two sawhorses. I got the old door laid across those sawhorses, which comes in really handy. Don't have to work on the floor, don't have to be squatting up and down. Most of these pieces are small enough that I can assemble them on the work surface here, which has been really helpful for me. I have some back pain from time to time and some leg pain. Bending down, squatting, standing up, that aggravates it. So I'm trying to avoid aggravating it, and this is a great way to do it, to build yourself a makeshift workbench so that you can have all your tools at waist level, bring all your supplies to where your work area is, have everything ready to go right here. All right, finished that in just over 2 hours. Didn't film every step of it, every cut or every nail, but it went pretty quickly, just a little over 2 hours. Got everything all framed in here, and this is the rough opening there. You saw where I lifted that wall into place. It turned out pretty good. One thing that I didn't even consider and didn't take into account was that, as I mentioned earlier, you gotta think of 2 steps ahead, or perhaps through the final project. And I realized as I was thinking about making sure that I had spaces blocked for where the drywall is going to attach, that with this being only an 8-foot closet in a 10-foot room, I needed to have blocking up above. So I added these spacers up here. So now the drywall can just attach up here, go all the way across, and then the same thing is going to happen up above. So it'll be drywall on top of the closet up there, and then up underneath. Everything's in place really well, strong, solid. Once the drywall gets attached, it'll tighten things up even more. That's one down. It's a little after noon, 12:15. Time to pack all this stuff up, head downstairs, grab some lunch real quick, and then move on to the pantry that'll be in the corner of the kitchen, which shouldn't take quite as long. It's just 2 walls, and don't even have to worry about the ceiling. Should only take me about an hour. Let's see how that turns out, because it's super hot in here. Should be about 1 or 2 degrees cooler downstairs, and I'm hoping to be able to get out of here as quickly as I can, go jump in a pool somewhere and cool off. Okay, so the pantry is going to be a little different. We're just doing one side wall because the other wall is going to be the exterior wall. So just one side, it's going to be coming out away from this wall, and then it's going to be about 27 inches deep, so 27 inches away from this exterior wall, and then tie in to that exterior wall in the corner here. And I only have to build the one wall coming away, and then the wall that's going to be for the door. And the door will open here and open towards this window. right, that's gonna be it for today. And I got pretty much everything completed that I intended to. Built this pantry down here. It is a pretty small pantry overall. It's just like a small closet really, but it's in the kitchen here. It's 27 inches deep and about 45 inches wide. And you saw me stand that wall up, and it's got the 5-inch feet at the bottom. At the top I got this big open space here, which I'm gonna leave for right now because we're considering putting a transom window in that area. I think it's called a transom window anyway. We have one upstairs from an old door that was removed from this house, and this house is 130 years old. So it's a window that goes above the door, usually on exterior doors, sometimes on interior doors as well for bedrooms. They used it back before there was air conditioning. They used these windows and they opened them up to let heat move around, and as heat rises it kind of could move around throughout the house and keep the lower areas cooler. But for a design feature, we're thinking about putting in a transom up here. So I'm going to frame that in later. And then it might be kind of cool to have a light inside here, and then the door that we're putting in here is going to have a couple of glass windows. We'll swap out to like plexiglass for safety, and then have a plexiglass here, like a frosted glass. Maybe these will be frosted as well. Just kind of a cool, modern but rustic look to this old house to kind of bring, you know, that look of maybe the 1890s, whenever it was built, to life a little bit here. So stay tuned for that. Oh, I said it was going to take me about an hour to finish this one, which it did take me exactly 56 minutes to complete this one. So just a couple of quick projects to move forward in the process of rehabbing this house. And if you like this kind of stuff, you know, hit the subscribe button and the like button and all that kind of stuff, and we'll bring more of this project and tons of other kind of DIY related stuff to you. So thanks for watching.